What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another desireLess discussion. Here's your co-host KJ Howard and Cam Porter. And today we got something special. We're gonna give you guys a live updates of the games that's going on with conference championships, our thoughts on the playoffs, and also who we think will win the Heisman Trophy. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this podcast today. And first off, make sure you guys also get your Genesis Tea, which is out now. Get it at shopdesireLess.com or also the link in the description down below. And if you want to join our email list to get more tips about how to improve as an athlete, how to just develop overall as a person, you can subscribe to that. That's also in the link in the description down below. Anything else I left off, Cam?
No, I think you hit everything we needed to talk about. Now it's time to
Okay.
get into the real nitty gritty,
Get
man.
into the real nitty
Yeah.
gritty, man. So, boom. It's conference championship week, Cam. What game are you most excited about? See the most.
Oh no, honestly, I think what I think is going to be the most interesting is probably this Big Ten championship. I think people expect like Oregon just to kind of roll over Penn State. I think Penn State been playing their best ball post Ohio State game, and I think if Ohio State and Penn State ran it back again, I think Penn State will beat them. So
Mm,
it'll be very
you think
interesting.
that?
I honestly do, man. I feel like I wasn't able to watch that game to the full extent, but
Yeah.
I feel like Penn State let that one slip away. So now I'm excited to kind of watch what happens this weekend, man. But Oregon is a real deal. I'm not gonna lie, But I think Penn State's strengths go the best with Oregon's strengths. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Mm.
What about you? What you think?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see that game too. I don't really know exactly who's going to win yet. Because, like
Yeah,
I said, everybody expects Oregon just to roll them over. And I think that it's going to be much more competitive than a lot of people think. Penn State is really a good team. This is probably one of the better Penn State teams we've seen in a while, honestly. Like, I'm trying to think, like, because usually Penn State's always in that range where, like, the sixth to seventh best team.
yeah.
You got Drew Aller, who has another year under the system. You have Singleton, you have Katron Allen, experienced backs. You have, what's the tightest name, number 44?
I don't know, bro. A dog though.
He's came out of nowhere, bro. He's honestly their best player on offense. I'm being real. Like he's playing and they're finding ways to get him the ball. I think when they played Ohio State, they kind of struggled with getting him the ball, especially in the red zone when they had chances to score. They struggled to get their best player the ball to make a play. And now they're really giving him the chances, whether if it's him catching the ball, him running the ball, him doing whatever. He's
That's
going
what I'm
crazy.
saying. I can see him taking at least 5 to 10 snaps at Wildcat quarterback this game. Honestly,
Yeah.
just
It's
kind
just
of
like
sit on Oregon's defense.
yeah. And and then Oregon, I mean, Oregon's they're talented too. They don't have no weaknesses. They got speed everywhere. Everybody knows Oregon's always been about speed. They have speed everywhere. They got speed at receivers, speed at running back. Their defense is fast.
Yeah,
Like they have speed everywhere. And then once again, they're undefeated. Like no team has beat them.
yeah. Gotta respect that.
You got to.
You gotta respect that, man. So
But it's definitely gonna be a battle.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely gonna be a battle. Like it just depends. They got to play their best game. They can't. A lot of times that is a lot of people what they say is hasn't James Franklin Penn State teams have not performed best under top 10 games. I think he's 1-14.
Jeez, please.
Yeah. So
That's a
like,
lot of games, man. Man, the whole state of Pennsylvania will go insane if they can win this game. It
oh my
it
gosh.
it can save Franklin, man. He probably will never get fired there if he can win this game.
Yeah. If he win this game, he can lose in the first round. He beats
Yeah,
Oregon in the Big Ten championship.
it matters, man.
Doesn't matter. He
They won the
won
big
it.
game that they've been needing to win for a while. So that kind of leads into the next big game, though. The SEC championship. We got Georgia,
Georgia and Texas. It's a rematch.
the rematch, man.
First
And
time.
Georgia won the first one, right?
Yeah, Georgia won the first one. Pretty sure they won the first time, and it was pretty convincing. I know the game ended up being closer than what it was,
Mhm.
but Georgia was handling that game.
Nah, I remember watching that game, man. And Georgia was playing ball.
The
Like they,
defense, yeah, so they won 30-15 the first time they played.
yeah. Ah,
And that's the thing about Georgia is like, man, they're so inconsistent. Like their peak is that they can beat anybody in the country. And also they can also lose to Georgia Tech in overtime almost.
Georgia
That's
Tech,
just how it kind of Georgia
Georgia Tech playing ball.
Georgia Tech's playing ball. But you get it's a big
Yeah,
threshold. Like they can lose to Kentucky. They can lose to Ole Miss. Ole Miss kind of fell apart at the end of the season too a little bit,
But
where
that's
it
kind
kind
of just
of
the SEC in general nowadays. Like top to bottom, SEC is brutal, man. Like it's no it's no cupcake games in the SEC. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
even like the cupcake games that used to be cupcake games, like Vanderbilt,
Vanderbilt, bad,
like these boys playing
hey,
ball now, man.
Vanderbilt come and smack you, bro.
That's what I'm
They gonna
saying.
beat you in your shit. You like they
And
almost beat. There's giving Tennessee a run for his money.
that's what comes with this transfer portal stuff and this NIL stuff, man. It's like it's really even in the playing fields, and these so and so programs that you think you're just gonna roll over are now getting guys, and they're starting to compete with the best of the best. So SEC is playing ball, man, and it's gonna be a very interesting game. But my prediction, I'm gonna go Georgia. I'm always
They gonna sweep them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go defense. Kirby gonna have them boys ready mentally.
They
Most
always do.
Yeah, he always do.
Like that's one thing. Georgia shows up in big games no matter what.
And that's what I was gonna say. They're so used to big games. They've been there before. They got guys on the team who's been in national championships, and it's like Texas is definitely on their way there, but they haven't got there yet, and they haven't experienced that level yet. So
Mm,
I got Georgia, man, but it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be way better than the first game for sure.
yeah. It just yeah. I mean that Georgia defense is. I mean they play hard. They play physical. They don't give up big plays. They don't beat themselves. Like the defense does not. Georgia's offense sometimes they do beat them. So sometimes they just start out slow. Carson
Right,
Beck might struggle a little bit. They might not be running the ball the best.
right.
I think that's what separates this Georgia team from the rest in the past is that their offensive line isn't as strong as it usually is. When they
Yeah,
can run the ball and pound you, then on defense, just create a wall where you're not doing nothing.
yeah, percent. It's gonna be an interesting game, and I'm
Yeah,
excited for it. What's your prediction though? You didn't give me a prediction.
man. I wanna say Texas, but like deep down, it's like I don't know, man. Like I seen Georgia play, and I seen Georgia pushing them around. The only way I would say Texas because Texas, this is why I say Texas has the better quarterback. I think, in my opinion, and
Whoa,
I think, I think they have the better quarterback, and I think they have the better offense and defensive line. So
but
that's
hasn't Texas
why.
hasn't Texas been like rotating their quarterback? It's been like Q, Quinn and Arch. I
Because Quinn Ewers been hurt a little bit, so that's why
don't,
Arch came in. He came in like Georgia Tech game flex more wildcat because he could run. He's more mobile. Mobile.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what was going on with that situation.
Yeah, no, but Quinn Ewers, I don't think Kim or Carson Beck is necessarily like great. It's like on the level like Shador Sanders or Cam Ward.
Right,
I think Quinn Ewers a tad bit better than Carson Beck, at least is for what I've seen.
that's fair. I can,
So, and I
but
believe,
when Carson, but when Carson Beck is playing ball,
yeah,
you
he
know what
can
I mean?
play. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, like when Georgia's playing ball, just period, and they're clicking, they have that championship mentality, they have the championship mindset.
Yeah,
Like they've been there, they've won big games.
right.
What's the biggest game Texas won in the last
Hmm.
3, 4 years since Steve Sarkisian been there?
Can't think of
Yeah,
nothing
they
off.
lost in the semifinals against Washington last year,
They beat the dogs down out of Michigan earlier.
but Michigan ended up like not what everybody thought they was going to be. So that kind of discredited us a little bit. They lost to Georgia. They beat Alabama last year. They beat Alabama. I'll say that when they went to their house and beat them. And that's when everybody's like, okay, Texas is for real.
That Texas money start paying off.
Not for real. So I got Texas. I think it's gonna be a close game though. It's gonna be a close game, go down to the wire. Texas wins by a touchdown. Just I feel like they're gonna be able to run the ball this game. I'm gonna feel like they're gonna be able to get pushed against that Georgia defense, be able to run the ball. And because Georgia Tech, they was able to run the ball. And I know it's a different kind of scheme. Georgia Tech is more of like it kind of remind me like them old school like Auburn teams or like when you remember when Cam Newton was running the ball a lot, like they have
Yeah,
like a lot of Q power. That's what Georgia Tech kind of did with that quarterback. They run like a lot of like Q power, Q draw,
Hayes
stuff like
King,
that.
he pretty good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think I think Texas gonna be able to run the ball. They got some nice, good back. So yeah. So I got Texas. Then I haven't decided for the Big Ten championship.
Okay, last one we're gonna talk about. No disrespect to the Big 12, but we're gonna go to this ACC just because SMU is fresh on the scene, man. SMU first year
For
in the
real.
ACC, boys playing ball.
No, for real. And
SMU,
SMU has always been able to play ball. Even
yeah,
even the last couple of years, they've always been a good team. Not necessarily on the scene where they're at now, where they're finally in a conference where okay, they get opportunity to play
hmm
Clemson and be able to. beat them. Clemson's been running the ACC for the last 10 years.
Right.
So it gives them a chance to where Clemson was kind of down 2 years ago. Last 2 3 years, they kind of been not where they normally are, and now they're back into the playoff mix. And now here's their chance to SMU. Wow, get them out the way.
Yeah. I mean, SMU has athletes on top of athletes on top of athletes. So it's going to be interesting to see if Clemson can keep up with them, man, just because obviously Clemson is a good team, great coaching. They do things right, but it just feel like SMU is playing at a different speed than everybody else. It's just the offense is explosive, the defense is flying around, and it's just like
Yeah,
that's when you have that combination, it's really, really hard to stop. Like that's the perfect combination that you want in a team.
yeah.
Offense that executes and is capitalizing and making explosives, and then a defense that nobody on the defense is hesitating. They're
Yeah.
flying around, playing fast, they're making plays. So
The only thing you can say though is that they don't have a win against ranked opponents.
really,
That's
not
the only
one.
thing. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, okay, let me see their schedule. And ACC is kind of down. It's probably the worst power for a conference
Yeah.
right now because the Big 12 isn't like they got BYU. Big 12 got BYU, Arizona State. They have Arizona State, BYU, Iowa State. They got some good teams. Colorado's came up and really shown that they can play. So
Right.
like they have good teams and everything, but they haven't. And that's kind of the big argument about the SEC, ACC in general. And another controversy that's in ACC, a lot of people talking about is that Alabama's probably going to get in over Miami and win them last spots in playoffs.
Yeah. They have to, man. They schedule's brutal. You know, they
Do you believe
schedule.
that? You think a three-loss Alabama team should be able to get into the playoffs after getting spanked by Oklahoma, lost to Vanderbilt? That's kind of
That
a trap game.
the Oklahoma loss was brutal. The Oklahoma loss was brutal.
They lost to Tennessee, but also they do have a win against Georgia, who could be the SEC champion.
SEC is crazy, man. Okay, in a head-to-head, do you think Alabama is beating Miami?
I think when you got somebody like Jalen Milroe, you got a chance to beat anybody in a one game. I'm being
Yeah.
for real. Just like when you have a player like that who's a quarterback and he's your best runner and he's just best running back, he's the best quarterback, you always have a chance. Now, can they string 4 games to make it to the national championship? No, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
on any given Saturday, you
Mhm.
really don't want to see Alabama. And
Yeah.
the thing about Miami is Miami doesn't have a big one either, and they lost 2 of their last 3 games.
Yeah. You're right. It was tough.
So
Who was that last loss they got? Syracuse.
I think it was,
Yeah. That's tough.
and, and it's like you said, head to head. Who like you got Bama over them head to head? Miami and Bama played at a neutral site.
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
You
honestly don't
don't
know.
you don't know what to get. You don't know what you're getting out of Bama. You don't know.
Yeah. You're right. It's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting. I'm excited to watch.
Ashton Genty having a phenomenal year. Let's read these stats.
I'm
He
listening.
has 312 carries, 2,288 yards, 28 touchdowns, 7.3 yards per carry, with 2 games minimum to go.
That
Does he
is
win the Heisman?
that is insane. First of all, before we even get into the Highland conversation, can we
Yeah,
acknowledge how insane of a stat line it is?
yeah.
Like people obviously like know he's good, but like I don't think college football fans understand how crazy those numbers are.
2,000 yards is like two. You have 2,000 yard season. Not just 2,000, but basically 2,000 yard seasons in one season.
Do they know how hard it is to get 1,000 yards in a season?
That's not, bro.
Really?
Do they understand how hard it is to have 312 carries and still be healthy?
That too.
The
That
hit
too.
the hits you want to take, to
That's
knowing that he's seeing 9-man boxes, 8-man boxes.
they know that he's going to run the ball 25 times a game, and they still cannot stop it.
So they be there getting 40 times, bro. 312, and that's he still got, like I said, minimum 2 more games left. And I
Right?
know I usually do the Heisman after the conference championship, so he really has one more game to really solidify his stamp on like his Heisman campaign.
Yeah.
So once again, like, what do you think, man? He's going against, obviously, the Heisman favorite right now is Travis Hunter. who's having a phenomenal year. Let's read off Travis Hunter's stats right now. 92 receptions, 1,152 yards, 14 touchdowns with a long of 51. And then on the defensive side, he has 4 interceptions, a forced fumble, 31 total tackles.
Goodness gracious. This is probably the hardest. This is probably the most difficult Heisman run we've had in a while. I feel
Yeah,
like in the past,
usually always said that one guy like Jaden Daniels, he was just having a great year.
right?
Who was
Caleb,
before Jaden Daniels?
Caleb
Caleb
Williams.
Williams was having a crazy year.
Yeah,
Like this year, it's a non-quarterback, so it's like there is no quarterback that's clear cut, and it's you got two guys who are having phenomenal all-time seasons at their respectable position.
right. I honestly, goodness, I don't know, Kev.
Mm,
Because I appreciate the fact that we haven't had a two-way player do something like this
ever,
ever. I was gonna say Charles Woodson, but Charles Woodson didn't put up these type of stats as a receiver.
bro. We
You
didn't play
know,
this. Travis Hunter's playing both ways. He's playing 110 snaps a game.
for him to even remain healthy is insane. I don't know how he's doing it. But
You don't,
Ashton,
you
he's
don't, you don't practice. You literally his whole week he has to recover.
yeah,
Literally, like he has to
he
freaking get
probably
all type of
he
recovery
does not get touched. He probably don't even put on a pad until Thursday.
Thursday, and he practice.
Yeah,
He probably does indie
yeah,
like walkthroughs and stuff like that.
yeah.
And then Friday, they might let him go a little fast Friday with just helmets, and then he plays.
What do you think? Who do you think should get it? Your honest opinion.
To be honest, Travis Hunter.
I agree.
It's what he's doing. I didn't know. At first I was always pushing for Ashton Genty. I was like, man, like Genty. When I see he has 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns and then 4 interceptions, a forced fumble that won the game. Like,
How many 1,000 yard receivers are even in Power Four? How many Power Four receivers have 1,000 yards? Even?
I don't even know.
It can't be that many.
It's probably like it might be a lot.
I mean, it can't be more than 10, 15. Power Four though, not
Yeah.
FBS.
Okay. Powerful. Territorial McMillan.
Yeah, Arizona.
You got a couple guys. Territorial. You got Travis Hunter, Xavier Restrepo from Miami.
Yeah, you go crazy.
Ty Felton from Maryland, Jordan
Yeah.
Tyson from Arizona State, Jada Higgins from Iowa State, Jack Birch, TCU, Coleman Owens from Ohio. I know it's not Power Four, but shout out my guy Coleman. He got 1,000 right now. Josh Kelly. It's a couple guys. It's in total D1 is 19,000 yard receivers, bro. It's a tight end for Bowling Green who has 1,300 yards. What the heck?
Oh yeah, he go
But
crazy.
yeah, like
That's
I mean,
still
he's doing that, but he's not focusing on just offensive ball. Like his main position is defense.
right?
He's going off the field, scoring a touchdown, and go and play a full 8 yard drive. Chasing playing with their number one receiver.
I know how my body feel after a game. I can't even imagine how his body feels after a game.
Yeah,
That's why, he's a potential Heisman candidate.
yeah.
I think
And like I said, them numbers is just too strong, bro. Like you never seen somebody do what he does is doing.
right.
You never have. Maybe like back in 1901 when they had freaking YT Tittle and the all back when they had leather helmets and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like modern football, modern how advanced the game is right now. He's making both
Back,
sides
back
look
when they would play a football game and then go work in a coal mine.
right. Back when football is a part time and they go we're working a coal mine, smoke a couple cigs, like yeah, it just you never seen a guy and then on top of that he wins the popularity contest too.
Yeah.
He is Travis Hunter. He is the most popular college football player. Probably the most college football athlete right now.
And he plays for Colorado as well.
Independent Colorado, which is probably one of the most popular teams. So it's pretty easy. And then Genty, if Genty would have been on Barry Sanders' pace, yes. But he kind of got slowed down a little bit in the season. When I say slow down, he still was averaging like 170, 160 a game,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like he's shown like that he looked a little mortal. For him to win the Heisman, he would have to look immortal. He would have to keep up that 1,000 yard pace in 5 games for the rest of
Yeah,
the season.
yeah,
Which I knew, like usually when somebody says if somebody has to be on pace for something, they're most likely never really going to do it because that to keep that all time pace is going to be would have to be crazy.
yeah. But like you said before, people are game planning to stop you at this point. They know
Yeah,
what's coming. They watched enough film. They got enough film on you. They're gonna do everything in their power to stop, the best player. But yeah, but man,
unless
shout
Ashton Genty goes for the greatest breaks like Melvin Gordon's record and goes for 400 yards, I don't think he really has a shot of winning right now.
yeah,
Now,
man,
if he
but shout out,
does, hey, that would be crazy.
yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah, but shout out Ashton Genty, man. He's a dude. He's a dude, man. He really like.
What do you think? You think Travis Hunter could play both ways in the league?
Um,
What do you
no,
think? What do you think he's best utilized as,
I think
or
he's
his best
best
position?
in corner. I think he's best in corner. Obviously, I think he could do it, but I don't. I think he can play receiver, but you can't take that many snaps in the NFL. It's just not possible. Guys is too freakishly athletic,
You
too
don't, you
freak.
don't even think he can do it at all?
Nah, I'm sorry, man. Like I've seen NFL guys, I've seen NFL corners, I've seen NFL. I've been around guys that's in the league, man. It's just like
And they're pros.
everybody. Yeah, they're pros. You know what I mean? Everybody is too good at their position for him to like. Obviously, he's elite, but like to be able to keep up that level of eliteness at both positions at the highest level is just it's too much. I don't think it's possible, but you never know. He's a dude. He might be able to make it happen. If they possibly limit his snaps on one side or the other, maybe he can do it. But it should be very interesting. I mean, I'm sure teams are interested in putting him and finding ways to get him the ball. I think he can definitely play corner and punt returner if possible. But yeah, we'll definitely see.
I think the perfect formula for Travis Hunter is I think you do let him play both sides. I think he stays full time corner just because his ball skills at a corner is just something that you got to. It's just too
Yeah,
valuable. Like
yeah, it's
he
rare.
has he has he has incredible wide receiver ball skills. Like I put his ball skills with somebody like a Garrett Wilson who I saw at Ohio State, who I think has had some of the like one of the best ball skills I've seen out of a college receiver. Some
Yeah,
like he has that, but at a DB,
yeah.
that's dangerous. Then I think he plays receiver, but like the number 4, number 3 receiver. When they go 10 personnel,
Mm-hmm.
10
Okay,
personnel, and then maybe some special like 11 personnel, third down with throw him in.
right.
I don't think he's the number one. I don't think he's number two. He's very like they got him listed as 180. I think he's about like 165, 170. There's no way he's consuming that many like how many snaps he has to play and how skinny he does look. He's probably like 165, 170, 170. And then on top of that, if he bulks up, this thing a lot of people don't think about. Okay, he goes to NFL, he bulks up. That it's hard to carry a lot of weight for that many snaps.
Yeah,
I think part of the reason why he could play so many snaps is because he's very like he's lighter. He's
yeah.
light, not really heavy. And then it's like, man, think about this. You go on playing the Seattle Seahawks. You got to play DK Metcalf. Let's say the hypothetical of people who want him to play both sides, like 110 snaps in the NFL. You got to
Mm-hmm.
play DK Metcalf. You know how he is and how he blocks, and you got to guard him. And you got to
Right.
go and run against Tariq Woolen.
That's very true.
That would be a lot, and that's a
Yeah,
lot. So
yeah,
Miami Dolphins guard Tyreek, then get guarded by Jalen Ramsey.
yeah.
A lot. Where I think you play full time DB and you come in on 10 personnel, 10 personnel, 11 personnel package on third down. Boom. So you play 20 snaps on offense a game, maybe at the most, and then full time defense.
I can get down with
I
that.
think that's attainable.
It's very attainable. I agree. It'll be interesting.
I mean, yeah. And do you think what you got Genty as his draft stock? What do you think his ceiling is?
I think he's late first round.
Late first round?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not a lot of love for the backs, but it was a really good running back class. I think he tops it, obviously. I don't know where he'll possibly end up, but I think he's a late first round draft pick just because he is special. It's going to be very interesting just because he's not like Jameer Gibbs in terms of shiftiness or like,
Shiftiness and explosiveness, different play
yeah,
styles.
explosiveness. He is more of a physical back that kind of just bounces off of guys. So it should be interesting to see if he still has that level of, contact balance and control at this next level just because guys are more elite. But I mean, I think he's a late first round draft pick, man. He's a dude. He
Yeah.
has everything he needs. He's an elite running back.
Definitely. I definitely think he's a first round pick. And depending on how this season finishes out and how I think the running back position is gaining value for the fact of
Yeah,
what Saquon's doing, what
yeah,
Josh Jacobs is doing,
yeah.
what Derrick Henry's doing,
Right.
what Jameer Gibbs is doing to the Lions. Like I think like people are kind of looking at it. If Saquon can win a MVP or Derrick Henry, are they both? You have two running backs who hit 1,000 yards and both of them make deep playoff runs. NFL's a copycat league. They see that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, boom, we know there's a generational top 10 back coming in. Who knows? The Dallas Cowboys takes him at like a top 10 pick. It depends. It can happen.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be
Like
very.
that can happen. Like it's now I think his first round, I mean, ideally, I don't think he's going no later than 20. I don't think he would go no later than 20 just because he can make an impact. And also it is a deep running back class. It's a deep running back class. So you can find you a good back in the second and third round. But I think he's the most complete back. Not complete, but I think he does a lot of things well, better than anybody else.
How many catches
Like
is he?
he has good to
'Cause that plays a role too, man. If they're gonna invest that much money into you, you gotta do everything.
he only had 18 receptions this year for 100 yards, but last year he had 43 for 569.
Okay, okay.
So
So
he has the ability. He
they
has
just.
the ability. They just said we're handing it to him. We're not throwing it to him.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah,
which I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
Oh well, yeah. I mean it's exciting, bro. But it's a good weekend of football, college football. I'm excited to see with Oregon, Penn State, Georgia, and Texas, even the Big 12 game with Arizona State, and then ACC, Clemson. I'm excited for that. Those are gonna
100%.
be good games this weekend. And the Heisman ceremony, like I said, I think Travis Hunter, unless Ashton Jitty goes for 400 yards tonight and
Mhm.
6 touchdowns, like he did. I think what game he had, like basically had like a game like that. If he does that tonight, then hey, he got a choice. I mean, he got a small last fighting chance.
Right.
Yeah, man. But ooh, I'm excited. Anything else, Cam? You got anything you want to say?
Oh man, just keep tuning in, man. Keep tapping in with us. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on our YouTube, man. We got more videos coming. Let us know what you guys like seeing, what you don't like seeing. Yeah, make sure that you guys are letting us know if you need any help in terms of recruiting, any athletic tips, man. We got y'all, man, and we're just excited to keep this going, man. We're gonna keep coming, man. We got more on the way, man. So we're excited. Season is over for both of us, so we're excited to tap in more with y'all and make sure that we're making the most and connecting with y'all and really making sure that everybody is desiring less.
100%. Yeah, like Kim said, man, we got in the off season, we got big things coming. Can't really tell you guys anything right now, but later down the road, big things coming. You're gonna listen, know you're gonna see a lot more desireLess. We're gonna keep producing. We want to grow this community and keep giving out giving out tips, helping everybody just get better in general. That's what we're here. That's what we're all about is helping everybody get better. We want you to get better. We want y'all to help us get better.
Yep.
So we appreciate the love. Keep liking the video, subscribing. Follow us on other social media accounts like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You can get more short form content and still stay engaged. And also subscribe to our email list. Link to that being in the description down below. So subscribe to that. We'll give you daily tips, motivation, all the likes of that. So subscribe to the email list, man. But that's all we got for you. We hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys later.